Hello, what's up folks? Welcome of course to AGO Esports versus MANS Not Hot. What a team name. What a great team name that is. Gotta love it, gotta love it. How you folks doing today? Where in the world are you guys from? And most importantly, what is everybody up to? If you're not here watching CS, then something's wrong. I imagine there's probably a few of you guys out there who are studying, so if you're studying, good job. I feel like a radio host with this sort of intro. This is just not what we were looking to do, and I said that every day this week. We've gone for a weird intro, and then it's just not worked. Then we tried to kind of back away from it instead of just writing it out. I feel like that is a lesson right there. If you do something wrong, just don't style it out. You know, just be upfront about it. I don't know where I was even going with that, to be honest. But yeah, Man's Not Hot. What a team name. That is glorious. I feel like I'm definitely going to enjoy myself in this cast. Nonetheless, let's see what happens. Interesting thing for you, right, is Nuki. I believe, if that's the same Nuki, actually did play in the UK at some point. So a bit of UK talent in it for you. UK talent. He does actually get himself the first kill. Next up, taking down Furlan as well leads to a pretty solid start. Man's Not Hot. What a... I'm loving a little abbreviation. I've just read like HMNH. That's great. By the way, they're actually going to push out on towards B train. Smoking off between brown and yellow. Allows them to really kind of get up personal. Ruby maybe getting a chance to respond, but Snatchy. Ooh, Snatchy. Okay then, 3 quick headshots rolling down the deep as he finds himself every kill he needs. Now looking for just one more frag on towards the Spiron, of course, is baiting the defuse. Buying a bit of time. Groovy just holding towards Connector. But this works so well. He's got himself nested towards White Train. Defuse still being toyed with. Peeks out, finds himself the kill, and from there it's just back to playing this little game of dancing around the back of this train. You gotta push him up, Groovy. Groovy knows what's going on, but Esperan has no idea, but he's done enough. Got himself over White Train, forced the ladder play. This is unfortunate, but with no kit, no time, no hope, no dreams. Man's Not Hot, shutting down AGO in the pistol. God, has someone waited so long to say that? I actually want to double check if this is the correct Nuki as well. Seen the names but not seen the flag. And if he's Lithuanian, we're on the ball. We're room for money. And he is. There you go. Happy days. Of course, everyone else, much more common names. We know the name of Vasilian, everyone else, Tensky. Pretty standard lineup for these guys. It's a fun little team they've got going in the HellCase Cup, of course. Group B is where we're at. Making pretty good progress through these groups as well. Nonetheless, the CT side, exactly what we're going to be looking at here and there. Their trusty scout, the pistols. Got a bit of Kevlar behind Togribi and PHR as well. Certainly will help them soak up a bit of damage, but not for long. Already HellCase is just chewing them apart. Nuki waltzing out on towards B. Groovy is going to be good for one, but a second should be off the table. I mean, Nuki trying to seal that as he just holds posted on Connector. Peeking off this back bomb angle. Just sitting tight and was watching, expecting with certain death. You know what, I'll grab that AK in just a second, give it 10 and you'll die. Which, you know, fair play to him, it actually happens. He does get traded as silly and then picks up the AK, so, you know what, it's worked out. Eagle walking up and above. Oh, this is a tasty angle. Asilia buying himself some time, but if anything, Tensky gets caught on the peak anyway. Leaving us back to the same scenario, playing the clock around White Train. Vasilian, he's played this game one too many a time. He knows what's going on, but he can't peek anyway. The minute he does, is when the Deagle will strike. And from there, it will be a quick trade. AGO making it 1 for 1. Making the force work, most importantly. Nuki will top frag, so as long as the sass. Do you believe? AGO plays versus AGO. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the... It's just great, really, isn't it? Nice to see the actual AGO Twitch chatting in the chat, by the way. I respect that. I've read up to all of the UK talent, right? Questions. He did play in the UK for a bit. So that, like, I know that doesn't technically make him, like, I'm not going to try to justify this, right? Like, we've got to get our UK dreams from somewhere. If it's not from Smooya, then we can definitely hype up Nuki a little bit. I can't remember how long he played. I think it was like 7 months. site. It's been taken. Ruby trying to hold things back, but the CZ's just getting close. It's a good plant opportunity for MANS Not Hot. They've updated the team name as well. Look at that. No logo, though. I feel like they've missed out on opportunity there. Like, you've definitely missed the trick. Like, what? Was Big Shack not an illegible logo? Snatchy, of course, with a double. Makes things a little bit spicy. Tensky, all that remains now for this T-side. Playing it from upper on 74 HP. Missed. And his chance of using a molly to his advantage means that he just has to take some duels. Ones that he almost certainly will not win. And that is going to be the case. AGO 2-1 up now as they get themselves starting strong on their CT side. Where is Sardani? Casting something else, I believe. Yeah, no, he's casting the bets.net English stream over on style at _CS_EN2. And then we're just a mix that's 32 in the world. I mean, that's Counter-Strike for you, though, right? App's on a 36 right now, and they came together as a roster a similar way. Slow and steady around here from MANS Not Hot. Not really risking too much. Just gonna try and field a few opportunities with these pistols. See what will be scavenged. Ruby just running towards the back of yellow. Snatchy, meanwhile, able to put in the number with the AWP. Thing is, though, the T's have got a plant. So they've already kind of hit their condition. Anything else they do is I can't really say more of a win, but it's better for them. Nexa, the only real hope here, has himself the P250. So I mean, it's not all bad. This is a spicy pistol if you aim behind it. Unfortunately, gets a few shots off, puts him down to 29 HP, but it will not be enough to change the outcome of the round. Thing is, looking at that, just how long that defuse took even then, I mean, that was pretty close. So yeah, things could have been different. Still, though, a pretty successful round, one that will prompt them to go straight into this full buy here. Nuki on the AWP. Esperan likely to go for that AK as well, meaning that we are going to see a pretty hearty full buy come out, full utility, that sort of thing. Not surprised to see Nuki on the up. The quote in your pinned tweet spells practice wrong. I mean, it was still a good quote, right? I don't know. I think it's like the American spelling, if I remember rightly. I can't remember. But it was a good tweet. Either way, 3-1 up. A big round. A turning point in the game for MANS Not Hot. Wanting, of course, to go 3 for 3. Pushing some early aggression up through Ivy, but clearing out ever so carefully as well. Being very pedantic in their approach, even clearing the back of garbage. Actually, almost overdoing it, you could argue. But at the same time, you're not going to knock them for using the utility to clear their angles. Is the volume, like, super low, or what's the deal there? Talk to me. Because we had this conversation yesterday, and everyone was like, it's too high. And then we fixed it, and it's fine. We're on the same stage. Good quote, bad grab it, right? Yeah, I respect that. Maybe there's a better picture. Maybe, right? If you can find... I tell you what, that's your challenge to this cast right here. Find me a better picture of that quote. Or make one. Photoshop wizards, do your thing. It's a good quote, though. I think we could all agree on that, at least. Push, though. Still going to build up on towards A. This is where things are a little bit hectic. Ruby going to be kicking out towards the back of Brown. Does find himself caught. Some nice trades being pulled out by Furlan. 2 kills for him. Leaving him still up against a wall, though, finding 2 more players. It'll be Nuki to crush him with the AWP, leaving MANS Not Hot back onto their second round. With a runway for a third, too, as AGO are going to have to make a quick pit stop here. Trying to see if they can get themselves some more cash. Asilian actually going for an early pause. There's something not sitting quite right with the MANS Not Hot setup. But it works out pretty well for AGO, because it gives them a chance also to think about what they're going to do. I mean, obviously, we've seen the the signs that it is going to be the force up, just based on Toad and Groovy and such, all investing down to basically nothing. So for AGO, this is a high intensity round for them, but we'll have to see what they are going to be able to show for it. Volume is okay. Okay, thank you, BDCS. I appreciate it. The title's wrong. Oh yeah, yeah, the title. I don't know why. Well, that's the case. There we go. Update. We don't have any mods, so we need we need mods. There we go. The video settings don't seem too dark. More than likely they are too dark. It's because it's on full screen, so we don't get the brightness. I can fix that though by applying a little bit of a filter. Oh, technical pause is so well timed. I probably just need to talk louder as well when I talk like this, and that'd be fine. The audio is mixed for this, not when I like just casually chat to chat like this. And that's what causes the volume issues usually. Because we like to take things a little bit casual on these little solo streams, have a little chit chat with you guys, see what you guys are up to and stuff like that. That's why we had the really like out there intro, which just didn't work at all, did it? But we went for it anyway. Let's get some brightness in your life. That's what you guys want. Is that too bright? Is that like... There we go. I think that's enough. Like 3 notches, a bit of brightness. You can see. DDK, tell us. I'm not DDK. I'm not even like a poor man's DDK. I am Snacks' younger brother though. That is always a good one to go to. When I finish the new one, I'll tweet about it. All right, man. I'm hyped for that now. Me spam, no mods, no ban. I mean, buddy, I'll time you out. Don't make me do it. I'm hovering over it. Alright, let me know if the game is good though. I don't know if Stumpy is like the game's perfect or just this whole thing is perfect. This whole little situation we've got going on. Everything's perfect, Stumpy, dude. I hope your life is perfect. There you go. How much is the map monitor again? I don't know, buddy. I can't find out for you right now either. That's all good. Is it too bright though? I mean, I don't know if the brightness is now bad. These are the questions we need answered in our lives, boys. I mean, are you sure about that, Rohan? I got you, buddy. We're on that little Twitch dashboard right now. I see that little timer button. Maybe like 2 ticks louder. Alright. Alright, there you go. 2 ticks of extra brightness. Too bright. Alright. Get down. We found the middle ground. We've gone for 2. We went for 3. 3 was apparently too much. Well, bam. Spam. Hard to help, man's not hot. Yeah, you know what? Kappa hot though. You tell me he's not hot. One hell of a man. Where am I going with that? I don't know. Oh, I'm glad there's some counter shit coming back. Man's not hot. Not never hot. There you go. Tell you what though, we've got... Where's the camera off to? It's on a little trip to the middle of a train somewhere. Not what you want, but... We've got to sell some Counter-Strike anyway, so let's focus on this. Let's focus on the task at hand, which is to actually talk about video games. I like how I said that as if I was going somewhere with that sentence, but no, we're just leaving it there. Yeah, that's some great English right there, isn't it? Lick my petals. That's a great Twitch username as well, buddy. Original, yeah. AGO have not already won Rohan, buddy. You need to have some hope, some faith in these boys. And we're in a pretty kind of chill round. I mean, AGO have forced up, so it could get a little bit dicey depending on how MANS execute into this one. The reason why I say execute is because looking at the clock, looking at the way they've kind of just made subtle signs across this first minute and such, they really have been playing like the super default, setting up bit by bit. Now, they either got to go for a fake or go for an execute. That's your basic CSU right there. The question is how they go for it and whether they walk into these pistols and allow these CZs and P50s to find themselves chances. That's going to be the big one. So far, so good. Asilian securing a double kill. The flames burning. So we're alive. Groovy was next on the chopping block. Tensky taking down Snatchy. I mean, the round looks to be fairly locked in. It's a double scout play, so also mobile, but perhaps the only place maybe mobile 2 would be their grave. Furler, and that's a surprising shot. Asilian getting caught through the woods, so at least not going to go down without a fight. But it is the same storyline, eventually just taking a quick waltz on over. shortly ended up in their coffins. Where are you at, PHR? Just chilling on ramp? Just waiting? Oh, you actually shoulder peeked a scout. That is unfortunate. PHR nearly had a chance, but couldn't make it work. Smart. That is smart to do that, though. Just shoulder peek that corner. Stops the scout from really being able to do much at all. Sure, it gives him the chance to scope in and hold it, but, you know, even then. Looks like the push is going to formulate its way out on towards A. These pistols given another chance to play for the scraps as they begin to work their way into the rounds. So far, so good. It is 2 quick picks, but found for both sides. As eventually it is hard to edge it out ahead as they find themselves waltzing on through A, finding a partner as well, and from there, eke it out to 4 rounds on the board. But this is the important one, round number 8, because AGO have money to spend. They're going to be getting their rifles up. There will be a significant lack of utility on these players because of just how little money they've got. I mean, even for actually having to go for the last cannon AWP, so for PHR it's less than ideal. But at the end of the day, they can make it work with just the 5 smokes. No mollies, nothing like that, means that MANS really will have that sort of creative control. If they were to go for an execute, if they were to even go for a super slow default and just try and force a few picks with these mollies and flashes, because there'll be no response from AGO, there's no way for them to really push back parts of the map outside of just them forcefully doing it. But I doubt they're going to be doing anything early on because they don't have the utility. The only sort of thing we may see is a little bit of face shown towards Ivy, which has kind of been the play from Furlan. But he's got to be careful how close he's going to get because he has no sort of molly or anything to push him back, which means when this walk-up comes in, this contact could be risky. I mean, Snatchy can swing on out, but he'll lose his head anyway. At least only a trade, one that benefits this T side. And from there, look at what's building up on towards A. It's going to be a complete lock-in if they want to commit to this. But they might not. Instead, the B site is an option because they can wrap in towards CT. Little did they know, though, PHR is ready and waiting with his AWP, making things a little complex. This B hit might come back to haunt them, but it looks like they've just got away with it, trading the blows as they walk out through B ramp. Next, they're going to go straight for the plant. Now, it's just a waiting game. Let the clock tick on down and let Tensky catch on right back up with it because he's on this big flank. And if he gets there quick enough, he shuts down the likes of PHR and Groovy. If he's too slow, they may find themselves winning those individual duels. Doesn't matter anyway, as Nexa and Nuki actually going to land their shots, but well, could have been a little bit more risky if Adria would pick up those picks. Top tier observing, right? I know, right? Auto director is just masterful. Let me move my keyboard and then we'll actually just start observing because that's just not what you want with your hammer cheese. Have we got a mod or is Moobot just going on a little spiral? Right, there we go. We've got kind of a semi-decent position now on the keyboard, so we can do a little bit of observing. Someone is ringing the phone, and that should be on mute, but it's not on mute, so we're just going to style it out anyway. Hopefully someone answers the phone sooner rather than later, so you don't hear that really annoying, like, piercing sound. It shouldn't be too bad, because you can shout out to the man who ever invented a compressor, so you're not going to get deafened from it, but it's less than ideal. That is for sure. There you go, they've hung up, they got bored. They realised that Counter-Strike is just where it is. Much like a Cillian, and Esperanto realised that it's like 2 kills for them, make it to a 3rd as well. Using those mollies to really just cut off connector. Jack just won the new chart to really try and see if he can find anything, you know, just through this CT small. Sahipsa, dude, you are too toxic, my friend. You need to just calm down. It's okay. But very early on into this game, anything could happen. Unfortunately for Snatchy, though, he won't be getting an exit kill, which is certainly what he was hoping for, but unable to run away with a rifle. It is going to be still 3-6. MANS not hot, doubling up on the scoreline. Does AGO opt for a triple or setup? Okay. This could be both good and bad. I mean, it's train, it's CT side, so triple AWP The train is a map built for all angles, right? Like, there's a lot you can do with it. But that doesn't make me any less concerned. I'm gonna have to wait and see if this does counteract this sort of slow style of play that MANS have been bringing to the table. Bear in mind, this, for AGO, there's a lot of 1v1 duels that could actually work out. Oh, Toya, that's not an angle you want with an AWP. Doubling them towards B as well, even more ballsy. Snatch is going to peek out, lands a frag on towards Nexer, but almost instantly then has to respond by just falling on back. Play with your teammate Groovy. Don't give up another kill. Just keep it 4v4, keep it even. Force the teams to make a play elsewhere, which they actually will do towards Ivy, which should give Furlan a frag, which it will. Tensky going to lose his life. What's the best way of getting into casting? I'll get to that in just a second. Is it true the casting in this game gives knives to people in the chat? Yes, I give wooden spoons to one lucky viewer every hour. Oh, sorry, wooden knife. There you go. Bit of a premature shot from Snatchy. Means that the position of that AWP is known, and that will definitely sell this B site to Man's Not Hot. They've picked it up, and now they'll see what they can do with it. Just shuffling around slowly. They've got some smokes and such to work with, so it's not a terrible situation, but not ideal either. Snatchy going to try and hold things off. They secures the first, flicks for the second, but the trade does come through. Nuki will be there now to defend his teammate. The molly coming towards connector again. This is beautiful. Completely slows them down. Smoke to be thrown, but it's not one that can get them out. That's still an extra 10 seconds or so spent by AGO just getting out of connector, let alone on the jewels they're taking. Masterful play by Man's Not Hot, just dictating the clock in this round. Groovy making it known that he's going towards Orwell. Meanwhile, the steps of Furlan are so audible. Nuki taking down Groovy is a big win because now they know that Furlan is rushing up into those trains. And it's a round they can shut down off the back of that. Winning out the 2v2, of course, going 3-7 up on their T side. They're going to start getting confident soon. Just pistols, seeing if they can work their way out. Find a bit of something. Let's get up onto the connector box. I mean, at that point, Toa is kind of like, right, well, I'm done. Just gets obliterated by HellCase time and time again. I said I'd answer the question. Now probably is a good time to do that because it's a 5v2 and there's just no real win here. How to get into casting? Cast. It's really that simple. It's kind of like saying, how do I become a Twitch streamer? Or how do I become like a YouTube star or something like that? Like everyone always says like, oh, how do I become the next big YouTuber? How do I become the next like Summit or something like that? Or the next DDK or the next Staticist? The easiest way to do it is just to start doing it. Go on and pick up a VOD from the major. You can all download them from your client themselves, cast over it, like use OBS to record it or stream it, or even like Frap something if you want to be old school. Like, you don't even have to record it, you can just do it anyway for yourself, but I recommend recording it and then just start posting it or start streaming it. And sooner, like, you'll start, getting into it. Then once you've got, like, VODs to work with or you've got videos to work with, then you can message people and be like, hey, what do you think of this? Or, hey, can you give me some tips and pointers? And there are people out there who definitely help. Like, I get a few emails every now and then, answer questions of people I know. People like Harry, Hugo, Tom Biz, all of those guys, all pretty much the same. Like, if you contact pretty much any, I can fairly say any caster that's like not horrendously busy 24/7, they'll try and get to you. And even if you message someone like Staticus for help, they'll get back to you too. The only reason I say like if not horrendously busy, obviously those guys travel and work a lot, so they tend to have a lot less time. Whereas we have the luxury of a little bit more free time, so we can kind of get around to responding to you and stuff like that. And also they get a lot of DMs, so your better luck is to just DM someone. But that would be my biggest advice, is just do it, and then from there, obviously, you have something to work with, and when you have something to work with, you can get advice, you can be better. And when you can be better, you never know what will happen. That's why I started casting, right? I just randomly got given an opportunity to do some stuff with E-Frag, and then from there, like, I had a few VODs because I filled in last minute. And I was like, oh, I actually really enjoy this, and then just kept doing it, and then just kept trying to be like, I asked the producers at the end of every day, I was like, what was I terrible at? What can I do better? And stuff like that. And it's just really the best way to go about it. Nonetheless, if you have any more questions, feel free to ask away. But we have ourselves a buy round here, and I don't want to miss too much of it. Of course, we've only really talked over the early stages of the round as it began to set up, but MANS not hot, going for this B play execute. The mollies come raining on down. Hellfire being constructed around the site, but Groovy is dropping them dead. Furlan finds himself one with the AWP as well, linked to 3, so it goes to the CT side. Nuki and Esperan working their way back into the round as they sneak on through. Furlan may well be caught, but Esperan goes flying through the smoke, so dangerously close to finding Snatchy, but 19 HP is what he walks away on, and that leaves Nuki in an impossible predicament. This tough 1 versus 3, 50 seconds on the clock. Decides to sprint down towards the A site, but he'll walk into the crosshair of Toa, and from there, that's where the round really should be a write-off. He's sneaking up close to this wall, which is a smart play, but just doesn't expect Toa to be holding for him in the way that he is. Agio, 4th round, the 3 AWPs still kept in play. You tweeted your terrible rendition to you. Can I ban that guy? I mean, alright, yeah, you're getting banned. We know, like, the racism, dude. Like, I thought maybe chat was just memeing you, but no, like, generally, like, that's just not. No one likes that, man. Don't be that guy. Oh, I like the picture as well. Though, yeah, is that... I don't know. Not quite relating to the actual quote itself, but you know what, a fair play. Funny thing is, if you Google fatality, the first picture that shows up is like a really old school, like, corny picture from like old esports days. Like, I can't think of what it was even on. What was that on? It was like I think it was on like a TV show or something. But it's definitely got that like TV corniness to it. Either way, Agio been given a lot of chances considering MANS not having been going for this kind of like quick aggressive play. It gives them definitely windows to take parts of the map if they wanted to even just go on the aggressive with these AWPs, but they're just sitting far back. They're waiting for MANS not hot to execute into them. And we've kind of seen that work out for them, what, 1 time out of 7 rounds? Like, you don't need basic math to tell you that's really not a great trend, but let's see if it changes. So far, so good. We do see an early trade come in as they battle it out in Ivy. Do still have an advantage, but they don't know that Tensky has got himself over here. I don't think they do. Oh, the shot's not quite connecting though. Tensky losing out in the duel versus Groovy, which could completely change the round. Nuki gonna try and save the round, and he's actually done a pretty good job of it. Spotting connector, goes to the no-scope, whips out the CZ. He can find this kill, it's huge. But there's 3 seconds left. The clock coming back to haunt us. As Groovy just gonna run on away, he will be cut down. But that is the bare minimum. Nuki, you can't plant the bomb, buddy. Just don't do it. It's not happening. There you go. 5 rounds ratio, 2 back-to-back. Let's see if they can keep it going. Yeah, I just dived on forward. It was a little ballsy. Ruby now pick, but obliterated by the setup from next, so that should be a set. How is he? Okay, so Order Director kind of cucked us there because it moved us away, but Nexa should surely be dead there, right? I don't know how he's still standing, fella, as they managed to get behind them, and it's just death and destruction. I mean, I thought Nexa would be dead, but I don't know. AGO, 6-8 now, saving this off massively with this little resurgence of 3 rounds. They can find 4 as well, go 7-8. They are excruciatingly happy with this scoreline. That's a really interesting round, though. It looks like an early pause as well. I think Man's Not Hot realized that, okay, you know what? There's a big difference between that 8796. I can't look. I've just looked at this picture again. I just don't know why config is that. Ah. 'Few flashes. Gonna rain over, but nothing too crazy. Nexa gonna catch off with his aggressive push, so a nice little welcome change by AGO. Toa able to secure himself a very nice headshot. Again, just making it work with the sword dancing around the back of the site. Leaving just 3 players now remaining. Pensky, Asilian, and Esperan. A tough play for them to make work, but they've got the utility if they wanted to even just smoke off this close push. Deciding just to change it up a little bit though. Maybe looking to use Pop Dog or something a little different. "45 seconds remain though. Groovy. That's actually someone I was expecting. We wanted to keep an eye on here, but I think more so might actually be Toa still. He spotted out, but yeah, Groovy going to lose his life to Silly, and Toa still the man to watch. Is again slipping in that crucial shot. Doesn't decline the plant, but find Esperan on this rapid push. Or not. The AK actually able to catch him off. Esperan going to keep on going as well, close to connector. But a molly just going to run down the clock. AGO should be super happy with that. 7 to 8. Can't really ask for anything better than that. Pensky just going to be holding back Ivy, waiting for them to funnel on forward, which they will. Asilian actually going to sneak in with the first shot, but PHR able to return fire. Groovy and Nuki both enabling a quick 1-to-1, still leaving us close and steady. As the bomb wants to be planted, but they can't get it down just yet. They should be worried about Nexa bending a few shots around the back of the train. PHR spotting him, engages in a bit of a dogfight. Groovy eventually didn't be able to finish him off. Pensky, ooh, that remains 3 HP as well. It's just not much at all, but Toa winning out the quick 1v1 pushes AGO over the line 8 to 8 in this game. Pensky spotting for this back push. Toa able to make it work again with that entry pick though. Less than ideal for Man's Not Hot on the early CT side, but haven't really got too much to fight it with. on towards the site, though. This is when things get a little interesting. The chances, the scouts and such, kind of begin to form, especially when they're pushing down these trains. Esperant actually curving in another with the Deagle. That's huge. Nexa surprising them with the Deagle, as he just sits patiently waiting for them to try and plant. And from there, 2 kills line up, knocking them down. It's a really, really easy way for MANS to pull away too, because AJO, look at what they've got to play with. I mean, it's back down to $0. They decide to force up and invest into this one due to just how rough their economy situation is. It's a double eco no matter what, right? So they decide to force this one. Gives them a lot to play with on this CT side. Tagging away, not giving these pistols any ability to get close, just making them known across the map that if you do peek, there's a few rifles to tap at you. Does come a point though where Ijo kind of have to go, and that's going to be the issue for them. Smokes and flashes buying them a bit of time, but with 40 seconds left, if they want to play for anything in the round at all, they're going to have to sneak on up and try and find something. Building for this collapse play on A, going through Ivy and on pot, but this was always the issue, right? It's the mollies and utility that MANS not still have. Pensky able to find one Groovy, at least able to cut back with the CZ. It's kind of like your bare minimum there, to be honest. It is still going to be them just getting slaughtered as they run out onto the site. Every now and then we see a stint of life, but it doesn't last for long. So it's just Furlan. Now, Nex has 17 HP, so in fairness, a stray headshot, and you pick yourself around, but he can just hold the angle as well, and yeah, gets the headshot with the M4. Simple as anything. MANS not hot. 10-8, they enter double digits. They should be good for 11th too, considering the economy of AGO. Glocks. Oh, Glocks. What can you do? Maybe try and fan out to B, get the plant. Always tough in these full locations, especially on a map like Train. That's going to deal with those that come lower. MP9 doing a pretty good job so far of chewing them up. A bit of damage is done by PHR and Toa though, and that secures the plant. I said how tough it was on trade. The fact that MANS not hot have let it slip through the cracks is just not what you want. Asilian taking down Toa though. All is good in the world. go, though. Round 20. These AKs, much better than the Glocks beforehand. Let's see what they can actually do with them. Just a fair bit. Phil and Snatchy both picking up picks apiece. Jules towards B, Jules towards Decon. Man's not hot, though, kind of giving them a lot. They take the fights, you know, they take the fights towards Decon. So it's the default from AGO that's ever so rewarding. Now they're going to go for a similar sort of play they tried to do on the pistols, this time around with the rifles, though. And of course, that much better weaponry prompts them to adjust the tempo slightly. You can see those two players moving out Ivy instead of just bursting out. They opted to walk out instead, which, yes, gives Tensky that chance, that ability to find the first kill. But it's the trading game that AGO are playing. The sight should be there. Zillion throwing a curveball in the works by just holding pop, but the text would suggest walks out into the crosshair of Groovy, and from there it still leaves us in this 3v1, which should mean Nuki saves the AWP almost instantaneously once the bomb is planted. There you go. The minute he gets that little notification, bomb planted, 40 seconds, he's just going to back on away. Gonna get away as well. No one gonna hunt him down, so certainly an ideal exit for Nuki, but fortunately the round not quite playing out as you'd hope. Looking like a relatively same up. The difference is they like pop early on. Acilian still securing the kill though. Thankfully, he's going to be traded. Furlan dealing with those players towards Ivy. Both of them, in fact. That's a disaster. Oh, Furlan even getting more so aggressive now, dealing with the train. Nexa unable to respond, leaving just Nuki. And a 1v3 finds the first. Two more on the table. Now he's got one thing going for him. That's the fact they've got to go over and get that bomb. But that's only 5-6 seconds. Gives them this chance to get deeper into this Ivy area, push out around, stop her if he wanted to. But I mean, Furlan is still going to be a play he has to contend with, and that's what makes his life so difficult right now. Leaving him numb to the world as Furlan gonna support him in his treatment with a bullet to the back of the head. The veto for this is as follows. They MNH banned Overpass, then AGO banned Mirage, Man's the Hot banned Cash, AGO banned Inferno, Man's the Hot then banned Cod, AGO then banned Nuke, leaving us to train. Actually, nearly catching one, but could just bide his time, hold it up a B play instead. Furlan, probably the more apt target to be getting the kills anyway. I mean, look at that Mac 10. Not only is the Neon Rider a great skin, but that is also a moneymaker in itself. Looks like he's considering making the push. You got like PHR being the devil's side of his head, just saying, "Oh, buddy. Take it. You know you want to." Flash being thrown is definitely going to prompt him to. Starts to rattle away shots, but swiftly overwhelmed by a nice little setup from Man's Not Hot, but not long before he did get a kill, so making it worth his while. I think at this point, though, now there's no point pushing them, right? Like, what have you gained? You're just killing USPs. It's kind of risky. Ruby is going to get both of them anyway, but all three. Okay, so I was worried that he was going to die and lose an AK for that. It could be worse, I suppose. AGO still 11 to 11 anyway. Man's Not Hot also can still afford to buy up 5 rifles. They could go for a glass cannon AWP, but literally would be just that, nothing else. But they actually do go up for that. Nuki just really feeling the scope, it seems, on the CT side. I mean, he's 21 to 12, so you can't knock him for it, but definitely something to keep an eye on. Groovy with a double stack. Catching them by surprise. Esperanto getting aggressive off the back of that, taking these wide peaks down these corridors, and it's ever so rewarding for him. Nuki has no idea what's coming. I mean, PHL walks out pop, catches 2 by surprise, and we're right back at square one again for Man's Not Hot. When you think they're actually breaking out ahead, you think they're just starting to make it work. AJ break out in a sweat and catch right back up again. Proving this game is less than a sprint, more of a marathon. As AJ now going to opt to set up this basic smoke play. PHR just saying, okay, can I get through to connector? Use it to even smoke it off if he wants to, but the key thing is being able to just kind of get control of that part of the map, at least in his eyes. Hensky, meanwhile, just getting this far up is almost a round win for him there, and he's not going to kill Snatchy, bro, man. He's going to wait for PHR to show himself. He does as well. So even when he secures this first kill, now Nexa knows exactly what's going on. The flash can be thrown. Nexa just doesn't walk one out and put the bullet in his head. Man's Not Hot. 12th round. Struggling. They do find it. There's your frag. Works out nicely. Instantly falling back as well. I like that. Any sort of re-aggression that comes in from Man's Not Hot or any adjustments on A, sure, they won't know about, but at the same time, they won't allow someone like Tensky to go and catch them off guard, which, notice how that's exactly his play, right? Okay, we need to go and take pop back. So that's, from AGO, smart decision, not giving up a trade frag. If it would come through, I mean, sure, they could argue that Tensky would die, but I mean, if they want to take pop back, they can just drop down again and just go for the same jewel and then be a 5v3, so definitely a fan of this decision. Don't want to overthink it too much, though. Furlan just going to be lining up the smoke. Just a one being thrown down on towards B, which is interesting in itself, but we'll have to see what happens, how that plays out. The answer is it's not really done much at all. I mean, we're seeing PHR creep out alone. Tensky was able to catch Furlan as he tried to rotate back, so the fake has suddenly become quite predictable. But outside of that, nothing really crazy has happened. One smoke didn't really telegraph too much. It does allow the bomb plant, at least for Agio, with 6 seconds left, kind of getting away with murder there, but still, it's a very odd round, a slow one that's playing out. PHR does find Esperanto, which starts to add value to his B plate. Next are also standing by. Tensky coming in from behind. There's a lot of time being spent by Man's Not Hot, forcing that kill. Kenneth, why is there not a team called Man's Not Hot, buddy? Ask yourself the real questions right now. It's a great team name. Yeah, they're going to go straight for the save as well. So from AGO, I like it. It was quirky at times. It was waiting, or testing at times, should I say, but I do like it overall. Terrorists win. They have to save there as well, for those that are confused by their choice. I mean, realistically, they spent so much time fighting B that if they went for it, it would have been just, I don't know. Would have been less than pretty. Starts to step out onto the speed. Like a battle back train, one that Nexa instantly loses, getting tapped up by Toa Esperant. He will be able to fill the gaps, but just as he tries to bridge anything at all, he just squirts his own flames. I mean, it's a little rough. Hensky, at least really good for something. Make it actually something a little better. I mean, that's 2 kills. Makes a 3v3 doable. Constantly the flashes, the smokes, leaving just MANS Not Hot pushed out of the round. Trying to get up and above, but those the angles being checked at, being nipped at. I think at this point, you start to save. I don't know if you want to commit to this anymore if you're MANS Not Hot. I mean, just look at the time. Yeah, you want to start backing away. You start taking some losses. Ultimately, just take the L, but keep an AWP and a rifle. Ideally, you should have kept 2, but it is what it is. But at least now you have something to work with going forward. Especially the AWP, which is going to be the much tougher weapon to buy. There's no real money in play for MANS Not Hot. What was interesting is Nuki just goes full utility. Whereas Asilian just going to keep the bare bones AK. More slow train Counter-Strike. That's what we're getting delivered right now. AGO just going to build up towards B. Using all 4 of these players. Likely to either go in or go for a 2-2 split. Surprised actually by just how many they're putting towards upper right now, but fair play. We'll see if it actually bears any rewards. Of course, meanwhile, you've got your one-man army of Toa working, pressuring through Ivy. Let's get shut down by Asilian, but he's found the rifle, which will basically be in go time. Green light for AGO. They're going to build up through upper, start to walk on out. They know they're pretty much going to find pistols for the most part. Nuki be the only real surprise factor, just having that orb to pick them apart. But now they're just going to be instantly more shut down. They're instantly just going to be hiding a lot more. A lot less jewels to be taken, but for AGO that's better. They'd rather be taking less jewels than more, because we start to see picks come out. I mean, Nuki is all that remains. So it should be predictable play from them from this point onwards. You've got 2 AKs, you've got no util. Be careful on the jewels that you take. I mean, even that was risky. You could have quite easily seen Nuki spray back through the smoke and secure the frag. So, thankfully that didn't happen. Got a little hairy, but still it is going to be 14-12. A big buy for MANS Not Hot, considering if they don't make this work, then that last round is going to be pretty brutal. So, Matt, what's the issue with the volume? Is it just too quiet? I'm gonna just turn it up. I think OBS is just lying to us. It's telling us that we're like on a green bar, but I'm not getting that impression. So I'm gonna turn me up a little bit like that. And now I think I should be louder. Maybe a little too loud. Bring it down a little bit. Turn the game up a little bit as well. There we go. That should be nice and balanced. Snatchy. Going for something, but finding absolutely nothing aside from locking Key in a corner. That molly just leaving him a PHR trapped. They will get away with it though. Able to then escape shortly after. Snatchy then looking towards Connector. Has the molly though to be used towards the back of the site, but doesn't need to as Toa is just tapping them down anyway. 15-12. A buy that's been fumbled by MANS Not Hot, meaning they're just going to be on forced up SMGs and FAMASs very, very little in this 28th round. Joey, you just gotta spam it enough and then we'll fix it. Looks like AGO though are getting ready to push this one over the line. Just one more round and play and it'll be done for them. What was interesting is just like kind of how all over the place MANS Not Hot CT side has been. But this was kind of the storyline for both these teams really. Toa just again delivering with the big guns. 3 kills for him before finally being shut down, but too little too late, you could argue. 3 kills is way more than he should find, and it's what allows Snatchy and PHR to push it over the line anyway. 16-12, AGO Esports taking themselves another map in the Group B, of course, of HellCase Cup number 7. This is just one map of 4 all evening, so we're back with you in just a few moments' time for another game in the HellCase Cup.